Hey.
Hi, Edda.
Hi. I'm so sorry about this. I was having some problems like logging into my other account, and Skype didn't wanna it was like, oh yeah, you're logging in with a new device. So I'm like, what? I'm currently in Reykyavik, Iceland. So that's my hometown here in Iceland. And I came here. I think it was just a few days after the Malulaba World Cup. So I don't have my own place, but I moved my parents back home to my parents. I'm really lucky that they took me in with open arms, and it's so weird, It's just like, hey mom, hey dad, I'm back home, and I mean for I think 6 weeks or so, for example, my mom's workplace was closed down. So, everyone was at home. My siblings were also at home. So it was a lot of, navigating through, being with a lot of people at home at the same time. But it's been a unique opportunity, especially maybe for us that are, traveling and racing all the time, living that lifestyle, to just spend more time with the people you care about, and the people you love, and that's been a gift. I don't know, a gift, or just a very something that I'm really thankful for, because I don't get to do that so often. My grandfather, he got diagnosed with COVID, with the virus. So it was also just realizing that at this time I just needed to get home and be with my family. But it's been really difficult to adjust, high performance with, this situation. So
Yeah, sure. Oh, sorry to hear about your grandfather.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, he's good now, but
okay.
I mean, it was just it's just, you get a reality check, wow, this is serious. This affects, everyone. Some days they're definitely harder than others, just coming to terms with all the races getting canceled, of course, or postponed, the Olympics postponed. That's a very difficult thing to navigate, because it's something that, is so out of your control, which is sometimes difficult. But I feel just try to just do the best I can every day, and be thankful for maybe the opportunities that I do have,
As well as obviously being able to spend time with your family, a rare chance to do that. What have been the other positives that you've found come out of it?
Definitely. In the beginning, it was frustrating, to just accept that, okay, I can't do everything as I usually have been able to do. But now that, when a few weeks passed, it was okay, I can do something different. So I really tried to I focused on the small things. So just try to build really good habits, in the mornings, some routines, with both food and stretching, and just recovery. So that's been something that I've really tried to use this time to build up. And I hope then, in the future, that I can try to integrate that into my normal, training routine. So that's been really special. And also, I haven't really, because since I started triathlon, I moved abroad to be able to train with people, on this, this elite level. But since coming back home, I've been able to train with some of my, Icelandic friends, because we're allowed to train in smaller groups with social distancing, and that's been really special in the last 2 weeks to spend time with people that I was spending a lot of time with before I started triathlon, and getting to know them again. That's been really nice.
To be able to have time out where you can really think about just yourself and focus on one aspect must be quite useful, right?
It was actually quite enjoyable to just really focus on yourself, although I really love the social aspect. It was a different focus that you had to like bring into the training. And it also showed me that like, although I can't race, and although I can't train with my friends, and although like it's not that, you know, I can't do these things, I still want to train. Like, and that was something that I was really happy with, like that the motivation didn't fade as I thought it might, because I love training so much and it brings me a lot of joy. So that's, you know, that was really, really fun to realize like, okay, you know, I can really self-motivate and, you know, and this is definitely what I want. And it definitely like, this situation has definitely like showed me how much I want to be on this path and continue, you know, forward. It just shows like, wow, this is just so, I just love this so much. Like going out, you know, and riding your bike and just being in nature, like, and just pushing yourself, although, you know, you can't do it with someone else. Like, it's just the best. And I love it so much. So yeah, that's been really like, okay, you know, this is me. And, you know, I love this. And I'm so lucky to be able, you know, to pursue this, you know, as a career. That's just something so special.
But you still had, did you say like about 6 weeks out of the pool, a month or 5 or 6 weeks?
Yes, yeah. So
how was that? Because that presumably hasn't happened for quite a long time.
Oh yeah, especially like me coming, you know, from a swimming background,
Yeah.
like it was like, oh wow, this will be a really, really weird time. And I was like, I would say like I went through like a few stages. So, like one stage was like trying to figure out like, oh, could I maybe swim in open water? But obviously like we're here in Iceland and it's like the water temperature is like 5 degrees Celsius. So like it's not possible at all. And that was like my first day. It's like, okay, you know, maybe open water. Okay, no, that definitely won't work. And then it was like, okay, like frustration. And then I was like, oh, you know, this is so like frustrating. Like I'm going to try to do a lot of like band work to try to, you know, maintain my strength. And then after that like stage, I went to like, okay, like I'm just going to accept that like I will definitely lose some strength. Like this is just the situation. Like I just have to like accept things as they are, like focus more on my run and my bike. And then I went to like, you know, I just have to try to figure out some solution. Like I'm not going to give up. And and that was when I went to Costco and I bought like a really, really cheap, just like blown up like kid pool. And I convinced my parents that this would be a really good idea for me to like maintain some strength, you know, when I was not able to swim. So we set up like a children's pool, like a blown up children's pool in my parents' garage. And I bought some bands and yeah, put water in it, and I was able to like, you know, swim on the spot. And I was like, when we set this up, I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to like be, you know, so motivated. Like every day I'll just do like 30 minutes of some swimming just to maintain my strength. And like as the weeks passed, it was like, okay, maybe I'll do it 3 times a week or 2 times a week, because it's definitely not the same, you know, as swimming like normal. But yeah, and then it was like, okay, now there's only like 1 week until the pool's open. So yeah, it's been just like, it was definitely something that I like had to go through and work through. But you know, now I'm back in the pool and it just feels amazing. But yeah, I think I also learned a lot from that. Just like, okay, you know, just going through these stages and like figuring out something that will work for me, and not giving up. That was a really good lesson.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, let's not force this. There's good motivation, and then there's like super levels of motivation, which would be getting into a cold kids pool in a garage every day. And
exactly. So like I said, like in the first week I was like super motivated, like this is awesome, you know, I'll just put on my wetsuit and like, you know, just trying to make this really fun. And then, you know, the week after that, it was like, okay, this is not maybe so great. Like, it's really hard to, like, motivate myself. And then I went to, like, you know, 2-3 times a week. And then it was just like, okay, maybe this was not the best idea. But at least I tried. So, yeah. It's just been, it's been an adventure. For example, like, we have, you know, we get information from, you know, the the government here in Iceland, then, for example, like they recommend at least that we don't start traveling until, like, preferably maybe not until after the summer, just, for safety measures and so on. But obviously, like, one day we will have to, start traveling again, and things will hopefully be able to get back to normal. But and that's the thing, like, we don't really know. I mean, it's exciting that, we have now some races on the schedule, but it's still like it's so unknown with just the situation and how everything will, like, develop. Like, will the virus, maybe, go away, or will it, like, will there come a second wave? There's so much unknown, and I think, like, now I just try to listen to, what the health officials in Iceland and the government, like, advises, and then, try to go from there.
Yeah, and whether it's a European Cup or a World Cup or whatever, that first time back on a start line is going to feel quite magical, right?
Yeah, it's just, it will definitely be, and also just probably a little bit, like, weird, like, wow, this is, like, strange, because
should you be standing so close to me?
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, should we have, like, 2 meters between? And it will just be really interesting. And that's the thing, of course, like, we have, they have put out some dates now, with some races, but it's still, like, it's definitely still, it's not confirmed yet, because we will have to see as time passes with, how countries will open up, and how everything, if they will have to change, regulations in terms of races. And there's so many new things, and we just have to give it time, I think. That's the only thing that will work, is just time. Yeah.
You finished last year with a race in Africa, started this year with a race in Africa, and then Mooloolaba went pretty well. Like, were you feeling in good condition and, like, ready to launch into this season, or were you sort of doing a slow build up? How was your form?
Yeah, I was actually really happy with my form, and just happy with the feeling. I mean, I changed coaches in the end of last year, so this was a really exciting year for me. Like, a new training plan, a new coach, a new training group. So everything was really exciting, and I was super, super excited to, be able to race this season. But obviously we had to put things on hold, and but it doesn't change that I hope, like, I will still be really excited when the time comes, to be able to race again, and hopefully as ready as one can be in this situation.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, the Boulder thing, that was a whole new thing, was it?
Yes, it
who
was.
Who else is in that group and so on?
So I started working with Ian O'Brien in the end of last year. We have, for example, Victoria Lopez, the Brazilian, Matt McElroy, Eli Hemming, really good up-and-coming American girl, Amy Sloan, and a few others. So it was a really, really good group, and just, getting to know people, everyone super motivated, and I felt like we were super fit coming into the first, races, both what was supposed to be Abu Dhabi, obviously, and Mooloolaba and Sarasota. But we have to wait a little bit longer to be able to showcase the work we did.
You were supposed to be going where after Boulder? How long were you going to be in Boulder, and then were you going to Sarasota, or?
Yeah, so the plan originally was to go to Boulder after Mooloolaba and stay until, like, over the summer.
So that would be your base.
So we were supposed to be based there, and have, like, our, like, camp set up there in Boulder, Colorado. And then the plan was obviously to do Sarasota, and I was also going to do if it was Brasilia World Cup. And then Valencia World Cup, and hopefully Bermuda. But obviously, all of these races have been either, cancelled or postponed. And as of now, I don't really know when I will be able to like, get back to Boulder, because obviously my coach is there and like my training group. So I don't know yet, but just trying to take, one day at a time and be patient, keep on training.
You've all been keeping in touch, have you, throughout this as well, like WhatsApp or Zoom, or doing some kind of little sessions together, or?
Oh yeah, so we have done some Swift workouts together. Definitely like when the quarantine was like at its peak, then we were doing more of like Swift sessions together and so on, and then just keeping in touch, through WhatsApp, just see how everyone is doing. But as we've been able to move a little bit more outside, people are enjoying that opportunity. But hopefully we'll all be able to come together soonish, and train properly together.
And in the meantime, just is there anything that is sort of keeping you coming back to every night, like whether it's a
yes, like a quarantine project?
Yeah.
Yes, so I have been knitting. I'm also like an old woman. So I've been knitting a sweater, and that's been so fun. Just doing something completely different. And I'm just sitting there, in the sofa or the bed and just knitting the sweater. And it's special, to be able to make something with your hands, and that's been really, really cool. So now I just have to finish it now. I only have one sleeve left, and then it will be ready. So it's really exciting. Hopefully, I'll be able to continue the knitting project when I start training and racing properly again.
You can be like crazy knitting girl on the
yes!
planes and in the buses and stuff, and everyone will be like, you can do orders for people, some cycling socks. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been so enjoyable. Like, you can just sit there, either like just listen to, I don't know, like a podcast or some audio book, or just sit there and just relax, and you're knitting, you're using your hands and your brain a little bit, because you have to count, or if you're making some patterns or something. So yeah, that's been just something different, like a different stimulus, and I've really, really liked that.
Well, I think that's the commercial for our new podcast right there.
Yeah. Everyone come knitting.
On the sofa knitting, and
and listen to the podcast. It's so good.
Great. Well, thanks for your time, Edda. That's been brilliant.
Of course.
Really nice to talk to you. Speak soon.
Bye.
Bye.